Just want to show you the parts of this that we're going to be replacing in just a moment. Set this off to the side for a second. We're going to be putting in a small lithium battery. This is a 2032. Particular one's a Duracell battery. We're going to be putting in a new internal filter. And we're going to be putting in a new sample bag. So a couple things we want to do before we put these in. We want to date and sign the bag and the filter. That way we look at this down the road, we'll know when it was done and who did the calibration. So I just put on today's date and just initial it. Same thing on the filter. Today's date and initial. Two things yeah, it's going to keep doing that, isn't it? This is the valve that we're going to open and close that allows the air to fill and drain from the bag. And what we'll need to do is open this valve a certain number of rotations. There's no markings on the valve, so what we do is with a Sharpie, just make a mark on the valve at some point. I always do it right over the inlet, and then we're going to turn this 1 1/4 times. So just hold on to this piece and turn the valve so you see it move 1 1/4 times. And then make sure everything else is tight here. This little top cap unscrews, make sure that's tight and nothing else is loosened up. The other thing to pay attention to is on this filter, there's an inlet and an exhaust on the filter. So on one side of it, you're going to see the word inlet. The inlet side needs to be facing out of the unit. We'll show you that when we actually open the unit up. So, date the filter, notice where the inlet is, date the bag, mark the inlet valve, and turn it 1 1/4 times. Set this off to the side again. And we'll go ahead and start this back up. Don't need to let it warm up all the way, just let it start up and get past the initial screens. And while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and open the unit up. Opening it up, you just simply need a number 2 Phillips bit. You can either use a power driver or just a screwdriver. Power driver makes it a bit easier. There are 10 screws total that you're going to take out. 2 on one side, 2 on the back side, and then you'll have 1, 2, 3, and then 3 on the opposite side. We'll just, while this is warming up, I'm going to open these, take all these screws out. So once you pull all 10 screws in the right order, the unit simply opens up, and it opens up kind of a two L-shaped pieces like this. we're opening this up with the unit running is we're going to replace the lithium battery, the internal lithium battery, and that holds all of the internal settings of the equipment. If we replace this battery while the unit is running, we won't lose any of the internal settings. If we turn this off, take the battery out. As soon as we take the battery out, all the settings are gone, and we'll have to re-enter everything. Which isn't the end of the world. It's fairly easy to do, but if we don't have to, it's even better. So the way we're going to do this is simply lay the unit down. You can see the lithium battery is right here. Just a little round battery. Just using the pliers to get a grip on it. And just pull the battery out. All there is to it. Take your new battery, put it in the same direction you took the other one out. Pop it in place and just kind of give it a little tug to make sure it's in there in the right location. The way this is configured is the positive side of the battery toward the back of the unit. The clip on the front holds on to the negative side, the positive side is on the back. And once that's done, we can go ahead and turn this off. Make it a little quieter in here. So that's the first thing we replace. We're going to replace two other pieces. The sample bag right here. That's going to be replaced, and then the internal filter is going to be replaced. So I'm just going to give that a little tug. Let's just set this aside for a moment. Here's our bag. Remove the bag. Velcro. We're simply going to give a little tug to pull the bag off the Velcro. And then the Velcro. Some of these come off really easy, some of them don't. Simply pull the Velcro off the bag. Just adhesive. And then just put the Velcro side down with the adhesive facing out. Back in place. So what we've done here is just simply remove the bag, put the Velcro back in. The adhesive is facing out. Put the new bag on. The adhesive will stick to the bag. We have our bag from what we did a minute ago. Dated, signed, valve opened up, 1 1/4 turns. And we're simply going to place the bag in here. Always do it with a valve to the top right side, like this. And when you place this in here, pay special attention to where the edges of the bag are. Make sure that they're far enough away from the edge of this unit, so we don't have an edge catching the bag and breaking it. And just simply push it in there and let it connect up to that. Make sure it's connected tight. All there is to it. So that's how you replace the bag. Next we're going to take out the filter. These are just disconnected ends. You'll see a little ring in there. It'll either be black. Always be black. You just push that ring in, and then this piece will slide out. The filter, as you can see, is just press fit pieces of tube, just press fit under these barbed fittings, and you just give them a good twist and a turn and pull. Sometimes you have to give it a little muscle to get them to pop off. Sometimes they come off easy. So just take that off. Pick your new filter. Look at what side has the word inlet on it. And inlet needs to be facing out. So on the inlet side, I'm going to put this piece facing out. Just connect our two barred fittings. Push it back in place. The next thing we're gonna do is just put our pieces back together. Have our tube, just reconnect that. And just piece everything back together. See. Just like that, and just make sure it's fit together nice and tight. I don't like to put the screws back in right away. I do like to start the unit up with everything opened up here, just to be sure that if I have to go back in, I don't have to take all 10 screws out again. If I have to double check something. So plug it back in, start it up. Give it a couple minutes to warm up. All we're doing here is making sure that the new pieces we put in work.